Hello everybody, welcome to my Criterion Closet. Today, I'm going to show you guys some movies that I watched and cry. I had tears in my eyes, but not like this. Not like this. But like this. Ugly crying, just like I can't control my tears and I can't control anything, just like constantly crying type of movies I'm gonna introduce you guys. So before we get in, I'm not a person who cries watching movies a lot. I don't cry a lot. I wish I do, because crying feels great. I love crying, but it really has to hit me in some ways. It has to be in the right circumstance, it has to be in the right moment, it has to be relatable, it has to hit the moment of love for humanity inside me, and it has to hit some deep levels that could make me cry. Yeah. Anyways, let's begin. Number 1. Aftersun. I talked about this movie quite a lot of times. I watched it a lot of times. I talked about it a lot of times. So I don't know where should I start for this one. First of all, I think I watched it 6-7 times. 4 times in the theaters, 3 times outside the theaters, and every single fucking time, I cried in the same moment. You guys would probably know if you watched it. There's a moment that there's a song comes out and they start dancing together, and a very dreamy montage comes out, and incredible scene. But that scene is just like a button for me to just make me fucking bawl my eyes out. And it's pretty incredible that something so repeatedly happened could still make me cry. I watched it quite a lot of times, but I cry every single time. So this is definitely gonna stay in the number 1 section that makes me cry. And it's not just tears coming out. It's uncontrollable, just water, just tears falling down, and I'm that breathing thing when you can't control yourself. That happens when I watch this one. Anyways, there's quite a lot to talk about about movies today, so let's just move on quite fast. Oh wow. Number 2. The Florida Project. Man, this movie, God, I think I watched it 2 times, not much, but it's the same reason. It's just something so real, and when I watch kids going through stuff, but it doesn't have to be just on your face, they're having a hard time, they're having an awful life. No, it's not like that. It's just, they're kids. They don't know what's happening, but they're just living in such bad situation, which makes me feel awful and, hate this earth and this world. But what can I do? Anyways, it's just that part of it, just a cruel part of life, but kids, in the view of a kid. And when you get to see a kid breaking down and crying, how could you not cry together? I just don't know what to say, but again, there's a scene, it's almost in the end, and probably 10 minutes, I think I cried constantly. It's just so good. It's just so good, but so bad and so sad. Great movie. Watch it with your family. to cry together. It's a great movie. I recommend it very much. Next one. Oh shit. Okay. You guys know what's gonna come next, but this one is called Riceboy Sleeps, which, again, a kid, but it's a movie from Canada, and it's about a Korean immigrant family living in Canada and just surviving, basically. But I related to this, like, a lot. I don't remember. I grew up in Canada, and I didn't immigrate to Canada, but I lived there for a couple of years, and just thinking about my mom a lot watching this, like how hard it would possibly was for her, because she went there alone with me and my brother, and it's just like a complete new country for her, and she didn't speak English that well. She still speaks, but like, how hard is it gonna be for her? Like, just thinking about that made me cry constantly from the opening till like 20 minutes until the boy growed up. So it's like part one of the story. I think I constantly cried, and yeah, I couldn't breathe too. I watched it in the theaters, and like I was just alone, just completely soaked. And yeah, this was pretty great experience, crying experience, and I loved it. And wow, yeah, it's a great movie. The music's good, the cinematography is beautiful, the acting's great, the characters are so cute and sad. And my mom, when I asked my mom, like, did you had like a similar experience like this, because like there's a scene where this boy gets racially discriminated, like, and the mom comes to school and they're talking to the teacher, but the teacher isn't even like being kind of racist about it, and just like, yeah, it's just a very hard thing to watch. And I asked her, like, did you have something similar with this experience? But she said no. So like, she actually said she never got, she never had a racist encounter when she was in Canada. So I don't know. She could have not sensed it, even though she got she meant like she had something bad. But yeah, so this movie just reminded me of me when I was a kid with my mom in Canada, and just I thought about my mom a lot watching this. So this was something that made me cry, especially the opening sequences. Yeah. Next. Come on. This movie is not like really sad. It's just so good. It's just so good, and it's so warm, and there's just so many packed, just loving moments in this one. So from the start, it just melted my heart in a good way. I didn't cry, but I was like, oh, this is really, really good. This is just incredibly good. And I was watching it, and more just the time flows and watching this, I started just like tears coming down, and I was like, okay, why am I crying? And then there's a scene that this kid breaks down, and I'm just like constantly sobbing. This movie just melted me and opened me in a weird way. So a very memorable one. And after watching this, I just I just bought like another ticket for tomorrow to watch this again. It was that good. And I fell in love with the director, Mike Mills. His works are all kind of like very heartwarming and tender and just beautiful, but especially Come On is something I really, really loved. It's just beautiful, and you get to cherish humanity, which is not something commonly you do in this world, so many bad things happening, then you just watch something so warm and good like this, and you're just like, yeah, this is why I'm living. And crying feels good, watching these movies. This is one of them. Good one. Come on. Next one. Columbus. I just exactly remember everything about watching this movie. I was in my room, in this room, watching with my laptop. I wish I could have watched this in the theaters, but I had no idea about this movie at all. And then I heard some great things about it and was feeling to watch something slow. This is very slow, by the way. And I really like the actor, Haley Lou Richardson, so I was like, let's give it a try. And I like the director too. He has great movies, so I watched it. And you know what? The same thing. In the middle of the moment, I just started crying. Just tears constantly coming down. And it's not that this is a really, really sad movie. There is something so tender and just so sweet and warm about it that makes you melt in your heart. It's just something that opens you up. Again, come on. And at that moment, I just was constantly crying. It was in the night. It was in the middle of the night. I was watching this and I was just sitting here like this, tears just constantly coming down. I just can't control myself, and it's yeah, this is a good one. And I really like this movie, Columbus. Great one. It's about a girl who wants to be, she wants to be, but her circumstances is not really good at the moment, so she gets to try to push her into the box that she, I can't talk. Please watch it. It's a good one. If you want to cry and if you have something you love in your life, but you're just kind of going through some emotions to actually pursue it or not, or just yeah, it's just a good one. It's a really good one, and I loved it. Columbus, great one. Recommend. Now, we have to talk about Maid. This is not a movie, it's a show. It's a mini-series on Netflix, and wow. I think it has 8 episodes or 10, something like that. Not joking. When I turned on episode 1, just from the start, I started crying. And I think I watched this on it took 2 days or 3 days. Constantly crying. Just start from the end, I cried just constantly. It's about a single mother who's going through life with her little daughter because she's going through some domestic abuse, and it's her first time to just actually get her life together because she had so many things before to handle, and just it's the start of everything for her being as a single young mom, and just that journey for her, just her life. Damn, everything about this just break me into several pieces, I guess, and I could not stop crying. It was something I remember very significantly, because I never had something that really just break me down. I think I watched this when I was 17, 18, and something about this. It's a sad one, guys. This is not a heartwarming. It is good at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but still. Just everything about this makes you cry. And it made me cry. So I'm planning to watch this again and just think about it. Why did it make me cry so much? Yeah, this is a very good one. Recommend. Yep. There's actually another corner that I saved you guys to watch. It's something that made me like this. I didn't cry. Tears didn't come down. But after the movie, it just made me like this. Just like, what did I watch? Just, wow. Like, what? Wow. I didn't know how to handle my emotions. Movies that made me like this. This is the next corner. So, don't go. Please continue watching. And let's get started again. Number 1. After My Death. This is a Korean movie. And I watched it with my best friend when I was 17 or 16. It came out. I had no clue about this movie before going in. And it's about a girl who her friend dies because she killed herself. And just the blaming and the pointing out of the people in the crowd near her, and just blaming the kid. I don't know how to explain this. This is extreme. It's pretty gore in a realistical way. It's not like blood all the way, and just like that type of gore, but it's just really realistically dark, and I fell in love with this movie. Again, like after watching it, me and my friend couldn't talk for like 30 minutes, and we were just like in shock. What did we just watch? It was very emotionally heavy and dark and shocking and great in some ways. And after that, I watched this like several times. There's amazing scenes, amazing acting, amazing dialogue. Just this movie was my favorite Korean movie, I think. I think about this a lot, and it's a great one. It's not really a popular one, so I recommend it. And it's queer. It's queer too. Yeah, it's about girls. So very dark one though. I love this movie, but I didn't cry, but it definitely just did something to me. It just break me down, and I was in shock, and I couldn't talk, and yeah, a good one. Recommend. Go watch it if you want to have a shocking and a dark, deep experience for yourself. Next, Anora, a very new one that came out like a few months ago. Anora, Sean Baker, he is someone who knows how to break some people down, and extremely this just like fun looking movie, and it is actually very fun and enjoyable until the last scene. Just, you have so much fun, you're laughing, you're just enjoying this movie for like 1 hour and 40 minutes or something, and then you get to the end point of it, and the tone kind of changes into like a very bluish, greenish, realistic, cold tone of the movie. And there's a last scene that like the character breaks down and just show the whole reality, what actually you just witnessed and watched. And at that point, I was just like, wow, fuck. Okay, now what? What? How am I supposed to handle this? And just the hit of reality just breaks you down, not makes you cry, but just makes you feel so empty inside. And I love that feeling. I absolutely just loved it. I really liked it. I like movies that makes me feel empty and breaks me down in some point, and this was definitely that one. And I do recommend. It's a good one. Okay, next. I Saw the TV Glow. This is a new one too. You guys probably know if you're into queer media. It's a horror film. It's a very stylistical. It's a great one. It's just a great one. And there's so many great, beautiful scenes, and I can't really just make a one-liner for this film. It's a lot of things are happening, but at the same time, it's a very simple thing that you could probably feel. And after watching this, again, I was just completely fucked. I felt like someone just hit me with a rock or something, and I just like woke up, and this was something like that. Very dark, it's something that's so stunningly beautiful, you don't realize what's actually happening in the movie, and then after it ends, you just like slowly get what it's trying to say and everything inside this movie. And that's exactly why I love this. Beautiful and sad and dark. Anyways, great one. Watch it. Go watch it. I Saw the TV Glow. Great one. Next. Magnolia. This is a sad one. Some people said they cried, but like, I don't know, it's just so beautiful. This movie's, again, so beautiful. It's so stunning, and it makes you feel just so fucked in the head, and just, you feel empty, you feel so many emotions that you feel fucked. That's exactly what's about this movie. There's a lot of like short stories inside that's actually connected, and at the end everything just comes along and you just break down. But I didn't cry. I wish I cried. There's a lot of sad moments, and you just feel things, and when you feel things too much in like a short moment, it's kind of overwhelming for you, and that's exactly what this movie did for me. I was overwhelmed. I was feeling things, yeah. It's a beautiful movie. Go watch it. A great one. Pretty long. 3 hours, I think. Anyways. Next. Nobody Knows. A great one from Japan. It's about, like, kids getting abandoned from their mom, and they get to stay. There's like 4 kids, as I remember, and they're living alone. These 4 little kids living alone in a small apartment, surviving day by day, getting no care from anybody, and it's just a very sad reality to witness. And it just breaks you down and makes you hate this world. And yeah, I don't know, man. Am I gonna cry talking about this? Probably. So I'm just gonna move on. Go watch it if you want to watch a very realistic and sad movie. It's fucked. Yeah. The world is fucked. And you get to witness it. And when it's especially about kids, I get more emotional. Because like kids going through shit is something I do not want to happen. You know, who wants kids to go through stuff? Especially like these dark and heavy stuff. So yeah, Nobody Knows. It broke me down. I was not feeling it, but at the same time I was feeling a lot. So a great one. Lovers on the Bridge. This is, to compare to the Nobody Knows, this is a very fantasy type of movie, but like not like as monster coming out or like time traveling, not like that. It's just so humanly beautiful movie that is packed with beautiful scenes to melt you down and just emotions, just good emotions, and just beautiful. It's just a beautiful movie. So, but like still, there's some things, there's some plots that I'm not gonna give you away. Great one. It's beautiful. It's a great one. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's gonna break you in some points and make you think and just think about this movie quite a lot after watching it. So a good one. Good one. Okay, I just put like these movies together because it's from the same director, and it had like all the ending scenes of this movie made me break down. So yeah, and Timothée Chalamet is both in it, so why not just like put it together? It's both romance stories, and these both movies have a very similar type of ending. Not as a story-wise, but how it makes you feel. Just empty. Just full of so many things happened that you just like forget everything about it, and just like the ending scene just remains in your head, and yeah, just makes you feel a lot. At the same time, feel empty. You feel so many things that makes you just collapse in your head, and just at the end of it, you're just like putting hands in your head and just, you don't know what you just witnessed, and like, it's so beautifully filmed and a beautiful story and everything, but it makes you break down. And yeah, that's exactly why I love these movies. Great one. Let's move on. I put it together because I talked about so many times about these two movies. Beautifully made, great movies. Romance, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and Carol. If you want to know like more specifics about these movies, I had made some videos about it, so go watch those. But just shortly to tell, it's heartbreaking in a good way, and it's so beautiful. You're just stunned watching the whole thing. Especially for Portrait of a Lady on Fire, the last scene is shot in a very long sequence, like, and you just get to feel things in that moment. And Carol too, it's just something about those eyes and those packed feelings you get to feel is a lot, and it makes you go nuts after watching it. So go watch it if you want to feel things, an intense feeling that makes you go just silent screaming, and great ones. Yeah. Dog, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. This was some collections of movies that made me feel a lot, or made me bawled my eyes and cried, and just great movies. And again, thank you for watching, guys. Leave a comment if you want to recommend me some stuff, or if there's any movies that especially made you cry. And yeah, thank you for watching. And oh, if you're watching this in Los Angeles, California, I hope you're safe. I hope you're okay. And I just hope you're okay. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.